Welcome to our Beyond TV Plus series, where we are focusing on one of the best American dramas, if not the best American TV dramas, All My Children. Well, in America, we call them soaps. And joining me is Eva LaRue, who played Dr. Maria Santos for a long, long time on All My Children. Eva, it's so nice to see you.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
So this is pretty amazing that this show, no matter what decade it's in, still people relate to it. People are still like fanatical about it. How do you feel about it? It
still stands up. Yeah, it still stands up. And my daughter and I were watching an episode of it a few days ago, like an old episode, and
from 1995. Yeah.
From 1995, and she was not born yet because she wasn't born until 2001. For those of you who don't know, I married my co-star John Callahan.
Right.
AKA Edmund Gray, on from All My Children, and we have a daughter, and so we were watching this episode, and she said, "You know, Mom, this is such a gift because I didn't grow up. You know, we unfortunately divorced when she was 3, and we stayed dear friends like her whole life, but." And now he's passed. But she said, "I didn't grow up watching you guys fall in love or cuddle or snuggle or, you know," and she said, "And this is like watching old home movies. Like, this is such a gift because I get to watch my parents be in love on screen, flirt, laugh, snuggle, like all the things." And she said, when you're young, like it's crazy to see, but it's like this amazing gift.
It's a treasure. It really is a treasure.
Yeah, it's a treasure. It is, yeah.
It's a gift that keeps on giving. And what's interesting, when I watch these episodes and recall the 90s and how powerful that all was, the storylines, and some of them are funny and some of them are sad, but gripping. You did this every single day. Tell me about that grind. What was that like?
Every single day. And this particular group of episodes, I think the ones that you guys are getting ready to kick off with, is the beginning of Maria and Edmund's storyline, infertility storyline. And it hadn't been done in daytime before, hadn't really been covered in TV before, or on
taboo, very taboo.
It was very, it was just such a mysterious. Especially back then, obviously the technology and the medical, it wasn't as it is now. And so when you had infertility issues, it was, it was heartbreaking and terrifying. And there was a lot of hormone disruption because, and even still to this day, to take the shots to, get your hormones into a place where you are producing more eggs so they can aspirate the eggs and all the things. So it's really, really tough on couples, the emotional roller coaster of it all, and the heartbreak when it doesn't happen. And so this kicks off this really incredible storyline. In real life, John, in his first marriage, had gone through some of that. So he was really kind of reliving some of it, to be honest. And then when we, a few years later, when we were trying to get pregnant, it took me 1.5 years to get pregnant. And I thought, oh my God, I hope that art is not imitating life, or vice versa, whatever it is. But luckily we had Kaya. So it's a really, and the great thing about All My Children is that they did tackle really tough
Agnes
issues.
Agnes Nixon, the creator of All My Children, really tapped into a lot of things that weren't talked about, right?
Right, a lot of things. I think they touched on abortion on one storyline, infertility, interracial marriages. We were the first Latina family to be in daytime TV. The Santos family was the very first Latina family on daytime television. So
you were Dr. Maria Santos.
And I was Dr. Maria Santos. I was a neurosurgeon. Kelly Ripa always jokes that she's always like, "Where'd you get that neurosurgery license in a box of Cracker Jacks?" Like, that's like, yes, indeed, I did.
Speaking of Kelly Ripa and all the different, tell me about the relationship with all of the different co-stars and players that you had on that show. You were like a family.
We were absolutely a family because we were there for years. On soap operas, people are there for decades. And then we also have players who come in and out, but the contract is a 3-year contract, if not 4 for the younger ones coming in. So, we even had Amanda Seyfried, who's now an Academy, Award nominee. We had, Josh Duhamel. We had, there were so many celebrities.
Sarah Michelle Gellar, Buffy the
Sarah
Vampire.
Gellar, she played the very first Kendall.
So many. It's a great, you don't want to say training ground, but it's a great place to hone your craft, right? Because you're doing it every day. You're having to memorize lines. And everyone wants to know, how did they do that? I had a teleprompter on television. You didn't have that, or unless you had cards.
We do not. And when I first started in daytime, we would do 1 episode a day. Now, with the way they shoot 3 to 4 episodes in a day. So now it's not just it can be sometimes 75 pages of dialogue in a day, which is a shocking amount of memorization to do. You don't even know your name by the end of the week anymore. You can barely remember it, but your memory becomes like this rubber band, and the more you use it, the more it stretches, but it's a shocking amount of work.
One of your co-stars says it was like mixing fear and adrenaline and made you remember.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm looking at your couch behind you right now. On any soap opera set anywhere, on either coast, at any time, you could find 14 scripts stuffed under the cushions of that particular couch, in a drawer, in a whatever, under a bed, because in between scenes, we would grab that script and be like, okay, ready. And you'd go into the next scene. But it's really tough. And doing, just for instance, shooting CSI Miami, where I was for almost 10 years, a big day, we'd be like, oh my God, we'll never get all that finished in 8 pages. 8.
Wow.
On a nighttime show, 8 pages is like a...
You can breeze through that. You don't even think about it.
Yeah. But of course, the setups are different. That's what takes so much longer to shoot 8 pages. But it's all in all, it's still only 8 pages of dialogue. It's not 75. It's not 25, which would be a light day on a soap opera, would be 25 pages.
Now, the beauty of what we're doing on Beyond TV Plus for All My Children is that it's being streamed all over the world. So a lot of folks, now we have a huge audience in America and Canada, but a lot of folks haven't seen it. What are they going to experience? What are they going to see outside of America that perhaps gives them an inkling as to what life is like here? Was like here.
Yeah, what it was like. I think the beauty of All My Children, soap operas, but All My Children specifically, is that it's so relatable that wherever you are in the world, the storylines are relatable. I think in the particular episode that kind of is starting off this this grouping is drug addiction, infertility. There's my little sister in the show gets raped. There's a lot of and the thing about a soap opera is that because it's on every day, the story gets told carefully and sensitively, and we have all the time and space to tell it. So the arc isn't up and down. The arc is long, like it would be in life. And I think that's the beauty of watching a soap opera, and how it's still relatable exactly today as it was in 1995.
Young people today, and I mean people younger than me, and I'm now also doing the same thing, and that is now we go on our TVs and we stream and we binge, and we just binge and binge and binge. In the 90s, we didn't have that. So we had to wait a day to see how the story unfolds. So that sense of anticipation is something that's going to be interesting to see how streaming actually works with people watching these episodes, and they'll get hooked just like everyone else.
Right. And the great thing about soap operas too is that you see these people day in and day out. We're not waiting for a week on network television to watch the episode, the next episode next week. If we're binging a show like we would on any of the cable networks, it eventually ends. It's done. You're done with it. This doesn't end.
It doesn't end.
It doesn't end. And you can come in and visit your favorite people every day if you want to. You know what I mean? It's amazing. And I think that's why people were comforted by it. People,
Well, they loved your
we
character.
became their family members.
Yes.
Our audience was really part of the family.
Yes, you were like family. And I mean, this is one of the reasons why people were cheering for Susan Lucci to win an Emmy, because they were so invested in her life as an actress. But more than that, it was Erica Kane.
They were invested
needed
in
to be
Erica
recognized.
Yeah, yeah. There was no world in where Erica Kane was not going to win.
Exactly.
You know?
And of all people, she's the one with the drug problem on your show.
Right. Oh, she had everything.
Every possible drama happened.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of the when you think about the people who wrote these episodes and these plot lines and everything, how much fun they must have had. And I know that I'm sure that when you read with your co-stars, these were moments where it's so ridiculous you have to laugh, but then you've got to put on your serious face and get through a scene, right?
Yeah, definitely. We had a lot of times where, because obviously it's written dramatically, and so there were so many times where we were like, how do we make this thing? This is like, it's so over the top.
It's so improbable.
It's so, over the top. But, you do what you got to do.
Well, I think I always laugh because I grew up watching Mexican soaps and Mexican TV dramas.
Telenovelas.
Oh, those novelas, where the long looks, the anger, everything was over the top. And I think
smack. Ay, Carlos. Yeah.
And I like that Dr. Maria Santos had a little bit of that in her, and the longer looks and it was fun. It's fun to watch you kind of develop the character, and I bet you miss some of that.
I do. I miss you just named it. I miss the long character development that you get on a soap opera versus any other facet of the industry. You really get a chance to play everything with your character, all kinds of different storylines, and you get, even though it can be dramatic, there's also times where you get some of the best pieces of work in any genre. Really, you get. Sometimes they'll write for you the culmination of a storyline that is such great. Right, it's an opportunity to do such good work that you may not even get that doing an outside, a movie or another television show. I really had some of my best opportunities to do some really great work on All My Children.
And while you're doing it, you don't even realize how lucky you are, or you don't even realize what is actually going on in your life. You're just there, you're present, you're producing, you're engaged, you're doing all these things. Now, as you look back, what do you think?
Well, that fear and adrenaline in terms of line memorizing, that constant anxiety that doesn't go away. I look back on it and I'm really proud of it. I'm really proud of it.
Isn't that great? That's such a great feeling. And
really proud to have been part of that family. Because now I went over and popped into General Hospital for a while. I popped in at Young and the Restless, and some of my old All My Children family members are on both shows now, and it's like no time passed. We spent.
It is interesting that that's a community. All the different dramas. It is a community because when one contract would end, another one would begin, and actors would move from soap to soap. I think that's interesting because it becomes part of the fabric of what we were watching back in those days. Right.
But I still feel like, where an actor originated is where they're iconic, I think.
Well, Eva, your talent is limitless. What are you working on now?
We are wrapping up editing a documentary that my daughter and I I'm executive producing and with Forte Entertainment. It's unfortunately a much darker premise, which my daughter and I had a stalker for 12 years, and he was finally caught by the FBI and put in jail. But the whole 12-year story was quite harrowing, and when he would get close, and it was really a terrifying time. And so we ended up making a documentary for it, about it for Paramount Plus, and we will be airing this fall. So that's what I'm working on right now.
Well, I'm so glad you were able to get through that and then have the courage to create something like a documentary to kind of get through it, help other people get through it and see what can happen. And congratulations to you for that.
Thank you.
So I just want to wrap this up with something we probably wouldn't know about All My Children that everyone should know.
You know what probably is fun to know, especially going into this grouping of, what did you say, 20 shows are going to be aired?
Initially, yes.
Initially, okay. So we, at this point, we all live in a massive castle called Wild Wind. And there's a lot of family dinners where we sit around and nobody gets along and everybody's picking on everybody. And to get through those scenes was excruciating for the producers, but the most fun I have ever had working with a group of people in my life. We would, oh my God, bust a gut laughing our brains out in these dinner scenes. Oh, we got in so much trouble because they're like, we need to get through these scenes. And we are laughing, joking, cracking jokes. Oh my God, it was so much fun. I think they finally had everybody move out of Wild Wind because they realized they were not going to get through those scenes in Wild Wind. But it just was like the cause of such,
I can't imagine the craziness having all of you in the same spot.
It was so fun. It was so funny and so fun. We were always, everybody was hysterical. All those personalities together, everybody was so much fun.
Well, Eva LaRue, it's been a pleasure speaking with you, and you'll be able to see this on BEONDTV Plus outside of the United States. It'll be streaming. It's coming soon, and we're excited as we could possibly be to join with the Agnes Nixon family and to share All My Children with the rest of the world. Our TV dramas, as we call them, soaps, because soap companies sponsored all these TV dramas in America. So Eva, it's been a pleasure. You are a delight, and I can't wait to see you on TV again.
Thank you so much. Thank you.